What's going on, guys? We're going to get first stream by doing, haven't done a video in about a week. Been kind of really just doing these about once a week, typically. But I put a quote on my Facebook page the other day for, it was, would you give up, or would you, could you give up all that you are to put like one step towards who you want to be, basically? It's like, would you give up who you are to be where you want to be? Would you basically, if you have things that you morally set, or not necessarily morally, but just like principles and stuff that are not really morally, just things that you just feel like you don't want to do, or like, I'm not a social person, but maybe I want to be a social person, so I would have to basically get out of myself to move towards being a more social person. But just different things like that. So it's like, it started getting me thinking about what I want to do for the next year and next few years, really, because I've always had kind of like short-term goals and what my long-term goal is on fitness and stuff, but I haven't really thought about career-wise, not necessarily career-wise, but what I want to do for my life. I've had different ideas before because I've been engaged, and I've had different things happen in my life before, and that I had requirements that I needed to meet, and those were easy to have because I knew what I needed to do, so I went ahead and started working towards it. But now it's like I don't really have those not necessarily permanent, but those direct needs to happen like right now. So it's kind of like, do I look towards starting a business for myself, starting a gym? Do I look to help my brother start his business? I know another friend that's trying to start her business. Just different things that are going on. Do I want to look in towards helping start a business, or do I want to look towards just keep on doing what I'm doing, working for the company that I work for, and just kind of going on and paying my bills and just trying to get out of debt first? I mean, of course, getting out of debt is probably the primary thing I need to work on right now, but I mean, what do I have beyond that? It's like, it's coming towards the end of the year. It's December 1st now. So what do we have for resolutions, and what are we working on towards the next year? I mean, I know people have resolutions. What are they going to give up? But honestly, every year we don't necessarily need to work on what we're going to give up to be better for ourselves. We need to work on what are we going to do differently for ourselves. Some people start working out, which is kind of like giving up some of your free time. Some people give up booze, and some people take up getting just to be a lot more social. Just different things. It's like, oh, this year I'm going to work on my personality, or this year I'm going to go work on knitting, or I don't know, random stuff I guess you can look into. But it's just like, it's not always about giving something up or trying something new, or it's basically, the time of the year helps people realize, I mean, even for myself, because I turn, well, my birthday's right after New Year's, so it helps me kind of like, well, what am I going to do for this year in my life? Because it's a new year for me as well as a new year for everybody else as far as, calendar years are concerned. But like, I'm getting closer to 30, so what am I going to do? Do I still want to be doing what I'm doing 5 years from now? Do I want to continue working on computers all day long and just dealing with those problems all day long? Or do I want to be more physical? Or do I want to be, because I do have a goal of wanting to do a homestead when I get older. Is that something I can do? Is there something I can do now that's going to work towards that? Would I be able to do that if I were to get my own apartment, or do I need to get a house so I can start having like a yard to work with, or just different things like that? It's just different thoughts going through my head, and that's what I was going to share with people, is that sometimes it's just this is actually more a video for myself as well, but just kind of figuring out what am I willing to give up of myself, what kind of risks are there out there. And that's another thing. It's like, I'm always prepared to take the risk that I know that I'm probably going to succeed in, and I haven't ever taken a risk. It's like, you never know what you can and can't do unless you risk failure, like almost absolute failure, because I have no idea if I could ever succeed in doing a business until I ever fail in one, or if I ever even try, because I'm always so scared of failing. But maybe that's something I want to look into, but maybe it's not something I want to look into, because right now I don't have the financial stability to be able to do that. But at the same time, maybe more instability is what I need to actually focus myself, to actually be able to take charge and actually do it a little bit more, and actually be able to be there and actually get that motivation to actually get moving and actually helping somebody else with their business to help myself when I go out, if I ever want to start my own. I do know that one day it would be great to have my own gym. At the same time, I don't really know clientele. I don't know people. I only know a couple people in my family or so that want to work out. And of all people I know, that nobody ever really wants to pay a lot of money either. I'm a person that's like, well, it might cost me $1,500 a month just to rent the place, plus everything else. But then if I only have two people that are paying $30 a month, what good is it? So I don't know what I would do there. I think it's got a lot more to do. It's barely December, so I got plenty of time to work on that. Getting closer to paying off one of my cars. So hopefully I'll be able to get that in the next couple months, first couple of months of 2014. So I can start working on the other car and maybe get that refinance down a little bit cheaper, so I can actually just have some extra money to kind of work towards other things, saving wise. But we'll see. It's also interest rate wise, so I want to get that paid down a lot faster. So if I can refinance for a lower interest rate, then I won't be paying more interest over time, and I could just pay it off a little bit faster anyways. It would save maybe $2-3 grand, which is definitely enough, when you're factoring in paying off, plenty of money on a car. But I think I'll just leave that there for now because I'm starting to rant on about different things. I got my training coming up this week for 3 to 5 reps, so it'll be heavier weight. My stomach's kind of hurting me, so I don't know what I'm going to do today. I might be able to lift too much. But sometimes I have stomach problems. It's just something I've always had my whole life. I never know what's going to happen. I could eat the same foods every day and then randomly just have really bad stomach problems for a couple days and then be fine. It's the way my life's always been. I've just gotten used to it. Gotta get back to work here real quick. It's the end of my day. It's almost 7 o'clock. Gonna upload this video before I head out. But heavy week coming up, and then next week I'll probably focus on high reps and maybe a lot more cardio. I gotta try to do some cardio this week. I'm still debating on if I'm gonna do the Spartan race or not, because I do have a holiday party that night. It will be very difficult to do an 18-mile race plus go home, shower up, and be able to actually walk that night. And plus my feet are not really in shape for running right now. I know it sounds weird, but I can barely run maybe 2 miles right now without my feet really hurting. I don't really get too many blisters. I get one blister on my left foot, which is really annoying. But other than that, I don't really get a lot of blisters. It's just I have a lot of foot pain from different injuries back in my past, and just ankle injuries, knee injuries. It really hurts. That's why it's another reason I don't like to run, but I need to. I know it's going to help, but at the same time, I don't like the pain that happens when I come with it. It's not the same typical pain that a lot of runners have in their legs. I have actual joint pain really bad ever since I was a kid, so it's something to deal with. But follow me at ShaneByDoing.com, Facebook.com/ShaneByDoing, and Twitter ShaneByDoing. I know I got to write a blog soon. I do have some notes that I want to write about. It's just be a long, boring blog post, but it's a lot of opinions. So that's basically all I have is really opinions. And if I think it's right, then maybe I think it's right. It may not work out for everybody, but it works out for me. All right, get up, do something. All right, take care, guys.